Hey guys, what's up? GreenMachineSam back with another video, and today we have another Tennessee Titans franchise video. Now, of course, in the last video, we did end up winning the Super Bowl against the Dallas Cowboys in a wild game. I know the score doesn't really show it. It kind of got out of hand in the end, and we were able to kind of really put up some more points against them. Just a lot of stuff going our way. You know, us coming out and starting off really hot. If you guys want to go back and watch that, or if you haven't seen that video, I really highly suggest you going to watch it. Now, of course, we do have the off-season, okay? So, even if you want to go back and watch that video, unfortunately, you will know that we did win the Super Bowl just based off of loading into this video currently, because you do see the score from last week, which does kind of suck, but it's still a very entertaining game. Like I said, if you guys want to go watch that, I would suggest going and doing so. But let's get some things underway, and let's get this off-season started. So, first and foremost, we'll go over the 2025 season recap. We did end up winning the Super Bowl. It gave Caleb Farley the Super Bowl MVP. I'm sorry, that's just not the case for me. Like, as much as you want to give it to Caleb Farley, Tyler Linton had double the touchdowns and also had a special teams touchdown, right? He had that big 75-yard catch. He had a kick return to start off the Super Bowl to get momentum going our way. I know Caleb Farley on, I think it was like the third or fourth play of our first defensive drive, takes a pick back to the house, gets a pick six. I totally understand that. Caleb Farley in almost any other situation probably would be the Super Bowl MVP. It's just Tyler Linton with 2 touchdowns, both coming on huge plays. One to go up at halftime. I think it was to go up to like 24 maybe or something of that nature. I don't remember exactly what we went up to at halftime because I think we were leading like 17-10 or something at that point. It was something crazy, scoring right before half on on just like a Hail Mary basically of a play is kind of crazy. And then to open up the Super Bowl with a kickoff return for a touchdown is also fucking insane. Only being done twice in the NFL's history. And we're at Super Bowl LX at this point. I think that's Super Bowl 60 at this point. So, MVP Patrick Mahomes, Coach of the Year Kyle Shanahan. I still don't get how we didn't win it, going 15-2 in a division like ourselves. Especially when Kyle Shanahan were the 49ers even the 1 seed in the NFC? I don't remember. They could have been. Cowboys probably just played better than them. Jonathan Taylor, Offensive Player of the Year. Max Crosby, Defensive Player of the Year. We talked about Max Crosby having 30 sacks on the season. It's kind of crazy. And then, of course, Stephen Bolden. We lose out to a quarterback, Tyler Linton and company. Tyler Linton, I just don't think did enough on the offensive side of the ball to really be warranting that Offensive Rookie of the Year status. Derek Wesley, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Awesome. We were able to get him into that situation. I think Keenan McIntyre could have also been kind of high up there on that Defensive Rookie of the Year voting, if I remember correctly. We are losing 3 players no matter what in David Andrews, Taysom Hill, and Tyron Smith. They all decide with the Super Bowl that they are going to retire. Tyron Smith finally gets his. Taysom Hill finally gets his. David Andrews adds another one as a backup. So they decide that they are out. Jimmy Ward, Jordan Poyer, Darius Williams, Cooper Kupp, Lincoln Thompson, Charles Leonard, former Chicago Bear. Levante David and Keenan Allen are out. Stephon Gilmore, Lane Johnson, Teron Armstead, Corey Lindsley, who just recently retired in real life, Garrett Bowles, Cody Whitehair, and others have all decided that this was going to be their last year. So there are a lot of notable guys that will be leaving. I do kind of wish that we would have got Tannehill a Super Bowl. I kind of wish we would have brought him in over Chestnut, but it's not that big of a deal. Few weekly awards, of course, it's just going to have 2 of us because, we were the only 2 teams playing. Caleb Farley and Tajay Spears. Tajay Spears with 20 carries, 98 yards, 4 receptions for 18 yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. Having a very good day for him on the ground. Caleb Farley, of course, with that pick 6 is always incredible, especially in a Super Bowl. We do have some upgrade players to take care of and manage staff as well. We have a lot of guys. Daniel Silas, Lon Florence, Keenan McIntyre, Tyler Linton, Josh Wiley, Trevor Clemens, Travis Rivers, Alex Barrow, and a lot of other guys. A lot of these guys coming off of the practice squad and getting moved up to the team. A lot of these guys probably aren't going to make the team next year. They are just backups and stuff like that I was having to keep a hold of just in case of anything else. I don't plan on making any staff changes. We did have to hire a different defensive coordinator, so we did go ahead and do that because our guy did get poached as well as our offensive coordinator, if I remember correctly. So we did have to hire 2 new guys. So we did get a little bit of our staff tokens back so that we could get our next set of guys upgraded. So we do have 304 going into the next season. We have 17 players ready to negotiate, and I don't think a lot of them are coming back. I'm going to be honest. Roger McCreary, like I talked about in the Super Bowl, is just such a weird case because, like, all the way up to the Super Bowl, because I didn't think he was going to get Superstar, all the way up to the Super Bowl, I'm like, we're probably going to let him walk. It's not that we don't like Roger McCreary. It's the fact that we have Mark Vickers in the waiting, and I think he's going to be a better corner, right? He's a better athletic guy. He's, same height, same weight, basically. He's going to be able to play that position very well. He's already in a very good spot in terms of coverage ability at this point. I really wanted to go to Mark Vickers. Now, of course, I don't remember, because he won 38 in total over 3. I wish it would reset because we did negotiate with him earlier in the season. He does have a high return interest, which is awesome. And then Treylon Burks, of course. Amani Hooker, Chig, Dermonte Jones, Nicholas Petit-Fier, Charles Menahue, Hassan Haskins, Josh Thompson, BJ Hill, Malik Willis, Josh Oliver, Julius Chestnut, Dearrington Evans, Sample, Mack, Howard, and Lawan. Lawan, I would love to bring back on another deal, but I think I'm going to let him walk towards free agency just because we can get him cheaper. There's no reason that I'm going to be paying him 3 when I can probably get him for 2 in the free agency pool. And then if we do have to drop him for any point, we can. Howard and Sample, I think, have regressed past the point of usefulness at this point, so we will have to look towards possibly drafting a tight end. Khalil Mack, I would love to bring back, but there's no real point of bringing him back. I like Yatir, I like Joseph Asai, and I want Emmanuel Brooks to get a little bit more reps going into next season, so we are going to let him walk. The 2 running backs I very much enjoy. They're both key contributors to us over the past couple seasons, but at this point we will let them walk. It just doesn't make sense for me to continue to negotiate with them, even negotiate with them, because I can get them for cheaper in free agency. Josh Oliver, I'm going to let walk. I'm going to see if he wants to go somewhere else. He actually had one of his highest production seasons in his career with us, and he only had like 11 receptions for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. So hopefully he enjoyed that. Very good blocking tight end, but for now I'm going to let him walk. Malik Willis, I think, might have a lot of interest in free agency from other teams. I'm going to let him walk for now. We do still have Trey Lance. I would prefer to get Malik Willis back, actually, just because of the storylines of keeping him in Tennessee and how good he played last season when we needed him to. BJ Hill, we're going to let walk. Charles Menahue and Dermonte Jones, we're all going to let walk. We did re-sign Osa Adigizua, so that is one of our main guys going forward. Nicholas Petit-Fier, I think, is going to have high amount of interest, being 26, 76 overall. I think he'll have a decent amount of interest. Hassan Haskins could be the same situation. Josh Thompson, I don't think we'll see as much interest, but could still have some interest on the free agency market. Chig is somebody I do want to bring back because he is that fullback for us when not injured. Of course, he'd had that big pec tear. I think it was about midway through the season. I would love to bring him back. I think he'll be relatively cheap enough, to be fair. I know. How am I not bringing Roger McCreary back when he only wants 40 over 3 and Chig wants 34 over, 4? I'm going to be fair. As much as I would like Treylon Burks and as much as he's improved over the course of this franchise, I just don't think I can pay him, right? I offered him 10 over 1 to go and maybe prove himself again, and I like some of the talent in the receiver class this year, as well as Franklin Amos and Max Smith are still sitting on our bench. Bo Melton's still doing very well. I think Treylon Burks will unfortunately have to walk. He just doesn't have a high interest in being here to begin with, and I'm not going to overpay for somebody that I don't think has developed quite enough or hoping to develop quite enough. Amani Hooker has played fucking out of his mind, but he's had such hot and cold streaks. Now, yes, you can easily look at the cap room and be like, you have $147 million. Why are you not bringing back as many pieces as humanly possible? A lot of these guys, if I can get them in free agency, I could probably bring a lot of these guys back. But for now, I think I'm going to let a lot of them walk. We are going to pick up Peter Skronski's 5th-year option. That will delay having to negotiate with him. Probably could have picked it up, could have gotten him a little cheaper, but let's be real. By the time of next season, he'll probably be 89 to 90. It's not really going to make a difference whether or not he's a 90 to 95 at that point. As an offensive guard, I think his price will be relatively the same. So we're just going to pick up his 5th year and get him for relatively cheap. Like I said, I do want to bring Chig back, but for the right price, of course. I can't offer him like some insane fucking deal where he's going to be getting paid millions upon millions of dollars. Yeah, he wants to play for a new team next year. I kind of understand that. I really do, and I can't tag him for $20 million. Now, of course, one thing I could always do is tag and trade a guy like Roger McCreary, of course. But I don't know exactly how much it would take to get him tag and traded, and I don't think there's a sign and trade anywhere near what we could do. So, I mean, this is, yeah, he wants to play for a new team. We could, like I said, tag and trade him. There have been instances of players getting tagged and traded, but I think for realistic sake and everything like that, I think we're going to let him walk. I think we're just going to let the rest of the guys walk. Guys like Hassan Haskins and Malik Willis that I would love to bring back, as well as Josh Thompson, a good special teamer. I'm just going to let walk at this point. Amani Hooker, I really do appreciate your service. Traylon Burks, I appreciate your service. Amani Hooker's going to be regressing. We have Brandon Davidson. We still have Reed Blankenship. We have, plenty of wide receiver depth. I think it's time to let some of these guys go, unfortunately. I really do like them. And it's not for the sake of, it's to progress other storylines, right? We have Mark Vickers. We have Tyler Linton and Franklin Amos and Max Smith. And I really like two of the receivers in the class that I think I could go get. Amani Hooker, we have safety depth. We really, really do. Chig, I still want to bring him back. I think he's one of the guys that I'm definitely going after in free agency, just because I do want that fullback position as well as him to come back and play tight end for us, because tight end is one of our worst overall positions. Like, in terms of positional overall, it's the worst just because of Josh Wiley not being high overall. But then again, I don't need my tight ends being super high. I don't need a Travis Kelce. That's not my offense. So, unfortunately, everybody's going to be walking in free agency at this point. I didn't re-sign anybody, which is fine by me. We have $147 million to work with going into free agency, which is kind of nice. It's definitely a lot of money. So if there's any big free agents that we do want to go get, we definitely can. One change I made real quick to the team in general is I did send Titus Horton already over to left tackle. That is the plan going forward, is to start him at left tackle. Max Thurman will kind of be that do-it-all guy as the backup. We do still have A.J. Jackson as well. So we definitely still have offensive line depth. We have 7 guys that I'm comfortable with at this point. Joe Tooney, Ronnie Stanley, Stanley, Travis Kelce. Roger McCreary is one of the biggest free agents in this class. He's going to have a chance to get paid pretty well. Kyron Williams would be a cool option, but I just don't think I want to pay a running back. Joel Bitonio. Kevin Byard would be cool to bring back, but there would be no point to bring him back if we let Amani Hooker walk, right? DeMarcus Lawrence drops down to a star and is 34. Doesn't have a whole ton of interest coming to us. Martin Emerson's pretty cool, but we let Roger McCreary walk for a reason. TJ Edwards is cool, especially as a Bears fan. I just don't love his speed. I just can't really justify going after him. There's not a whole ton of talent here that I'm sitting here going I have to go get him. Jamal Adams, who I did move down to middle backer, he is 30. I just don't think he's the guy for us either. I particularly like our linebackers at this point, so some of these positions as well, I'm just not looking to really replace. Traylon Burks with 4 offers currently at the moment. Tyler Algier, Ricard. We could look for a fullback. We do still need to look for some tight end help as well. There's a lot of quarterbacks ahead of Malik Willis. I'm going to go ahead and give Malik Willis an offer. I'm going to go 3 years here at 1.5 and maybe $500K in signing bonus. I think that's reasonable for us. Get him back on basically a rookie scale contract, and that would be pretty good for us going forward. Keaton Mitchell, by the way, in 3 seasons is still 24. Guy that I really like. Jaleel McLaughlin, another guy. But Hassan Haskins just makes sense, right? He's that downhill physical guy that we can go get. I think he makes sense for us right now, as well as just the storyline of him coming back. I'm not going to offer him a ton of money. If he wants to go somewhere else, that's perfectly fine. I'm not going to sit here and hold his hand and be like, you need to come back to us, baby. No, if he wants to walk, I'm going to let him, but he will get an offer from us. I'm not seeing anybody in the receiving pool that I'm particularly interested in. Tight ends, on the other hand, Could go after varying different guys. I like Chig. Chig still doesn't have an offer on him. I'm going to go 5 years at 3.5 and 3.5. I know this is a little bit more than we offer to him. He should be relatively interested in it because he does have, and cool. We have the active negotiations glitch, so we might just have to put it to unlimited if we really feel like it. Just because we are already at 6, but we only have 3 technical offers on the board. Jesus, Trevor Penning just never developed, did he? Could look to bring in a backup. Quentin Davis is pretty good, 69 overall, 23 years old, but I think we can probably get something relatively similar in the draft, to be fair. We don't have to go into a bidding war with people. I just don't see any great backups right now that I'm particularly interested in, to be fair. Or at least quality backups. Nicholas Petitfierre does have an offer on the table, so hopefully he does get some good money from somebody. Taylor Lewan, like I said, guy I want to bring back. We go 1, 2, and 8. Hopefully he will come back for that. If he doesn't, oh well. I don't expect anybody else to offer on him, but I could always be wrong. I'm not looking for a whole ton of guys either. Charles Menahue is a guy I do want to bring back as well. I know I said I didn't want to re-sign him in the re-sign period. That is fine. I do want to bring him back, though. On 8, if he can come back for 8, I'd be incredibly happy. Tierra Tart as well, former Titan. Just nobody else I'm particularly interested in, to be fair. Jermonte Jones could be another guy that we do bring back. He would be kind of nice, as well as just he's super easy to work with at this point. Honestly, we have the money. I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm just going to give him 8 over 1. Get him back as well, hopefully. Get us that 4th defensive tackle, just a position that I don't have to look at in the draft then as well, is a particularly good thing to do. Middle linebacker, unless there's somebody just out of their mind that I really, really want, I'm not going to replace a guy like Terrell Dotson, and I just don't see anybody. Like I said, I really do love TJ Edwards, especially as a Bears fan. Just his speed just isn't what I'm looking for. I don't need a corner. I really, really don't. For the most part, I think I'll probably just start looking at veteran guys with the mentor tag, so we can bring them in. What is Amani Hooker looking like? Yeah, he does have some offers on the table, so we're going to let him walk. Christian Benford, by the way, who we did move to safety for the Bills, because he did have high zone and stuff. At 25 years old, is getting no offers because he does not have star. Like, this is why Madden is kind of fucking shitty, is because a 25-year-old strong safety that is an 80 overall who has progressed pretty well after making the transition from corner at normal dev trait has no offers. It doesn't make sense. It really, really fucking doesn't. We do need to bring in somebody who will probably be cheaper. Well, Stafford, I think, could probably get some actual interest. We'll go Jimmy G here. Just take all of his bonus off, and that should be able to get us him. We'll only have him for camp. It's for the mentor tag. I think he has it anyway. Hopefully he does. He does have the mentor tag. Cool. Running back, if we can find a mentor, that would be particularly great. Dalvin Cook is 31 and is the oldest running back and does not have mentor tag. Yeah, see, active negotiations just, it's fucked. I don't know why. You can clearly see that I do not have 10. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So only 3 off, so it's not that big of a deal, so we're just going to leave it as right now. But some of these guys I definitely want to bring back. The one guy that I'm like super, super keen on bringing back is Chig. That's the only reason why he's getting a real deal. I would love to bring back Charles Menahue. I mean, all these guys I would love to bring back, right? The reason why I'm bringing them back is because I want them back, right? It's not because I'm just like, I just need to fill out the team. No. A lot of these guys I do want back, right? But some of the bigger names, the Treylon Burks, the Amani Hookers, the Rodder McCreary, I'm going to let walk. Nicholas Petitfierre, another big one, just because I think it's the smart thing to do. They're going to have a better opportunity to play and get more play time as well as get more money and be able to have greater career success, as well as we have storylines in the waiting, right? So we could easily see a guy like Franklin Amos or Max Smith have an incredible year, become that third wide receiver. I just don't think there's enough ball to go around for some of these guys, as well as I just want to progress the storylines a little bit, right? And Super Bowl teams normally don't have this type of money, as well as Super Bowl teams don't have a top 3 pick, by the way. We still have a top 3 pick, if you guys do not remember, if you guys missed a video where I did go over this. We have the Chicago Bears pick, which has ended up as the number 3 overall pick in this year's draft. And then after that, of course, we don't have any picks until the 3rd round, but still. So we're going to go through the first eval period here, see if anybody does sign. Unfortunately, nobody does. Chig still doesn't have anybody else offering on him at this point. So I think we will just continue to go with his contract at this point. If he does get somebody to offer on him, we could go up to a little bit more, as I do want him back as much as humanly possible. Did have one guy sign, just Chig. So let's go ahead and see if we can get a veteran at wide receiver. So then you sort by age. D-Hop would be cool, but this doesn't make sense. The highest interest and age is Nelson Aguilar. We'll probably get him for 1/2. If we really, really need to, yeah, okay. He has green. I was going to say, if you really need to, if you're ever looking to sign a guy like Nelson Aguilar to, get the mentor tag so that you can, better develop players, what I will say, like, let's say you're going after a Derek Carr and he doesn't have high interest, all you have to do is just bump his years up to 7, as well as just give him a little bit extra money. Just don't give him any signing bonus, and you can cut him for free, and they'll sign a lot easier, right? So, if you did not know, anyway, that's the main way I do it. So Nelson Aguilar and Jimmy Garoppolo, both with the mentor tag, both guys I want to bring in. We do end up getting, not Nelson Aguilar, we do get Charles Omenihu, though, so that will be our 3rd defense tackle to go along with Jeffrey Simmons, who I think we're just going to keep as much as a pain in the ass he has been in terms of injury issues and everything. I think he just provides too much talent to the team to really look towards getting rid of. When he is on the field, you definitely feel his impact for the most part. None of our guys are getting offers outside of the offers that they are getting from us, so I'm not too worried about it. Tight end is another position where I would like a mentor tag player. Zach Ertz is that guy, and he has high interest in signing with us, so we're going to go ahead and give him 1/2/7. Because like I said, signing bonus is the only thing that's going to count against you in the cap hit, so you can go ahead and give him as much money as you want or as many years. And as you see, it does take it up to green, and hopefully he will sign a little bit faster. Going to go ahead and take a look at mock draft number 4. As of right now, okay, yeah, it's fucked. Shamir Alston, by the way, is a undrafted free agent running back who I starred because he looks decently nice. He is a power back. This is in case, a guy like Hassan Haskins just doesn't come back to us. And of course, because I starred him, saying I liked him, the mock draft wants to mock him to me. So that's nice. Thanks for that. So we will not be taking Shamir Alston, number 3 overall. By the way, we'll probably be trading out of that draft pick. I just don't think any of the top end talent is something that I'm really looking at, to be fair. As much as as good as some of the top end talent is, I just don't think it makes sense. Roger McCreary has officially signed. He is going to the Carolina Panthers. 3 years, just a little over, what is that, $39 million? So, definitely something we could have afforded. But, like I said, it's more about letting some of these guys go out and be their own guy and have a better career. Heading to Seattle on a 3-year, just a little over $27 million deal as well. I wonder if Treylon Burks has signed. He has. He's going to the Saints on a 3-year, just a little over $30 million deal as well. I'm going to go ahead and see if our main man, Nicholas Petit-Fier, has not signed. I would suggest him signing relatively soon. We do have one negotiation slot available. I do want to go see if somebody else signed or something of that nature. I would assume so, especially with some of the veteran guys that we're going after. Zach Ertz signed, so we do have that tight end. So tight end, wide receiver. We're going after Taylor Lewan, so I'm not too worried about going after right tackle because he will help out with Lindsey Goodwell's development. I think the best option will probably be Donovan Smith here to help out Titus Horton. I think that will be a good situation to go with. I'm going to give him just 2 and give him no signing bonus. Give him 7 years as well to get his interest a little up. Yeah, it gets him into the yellow. That's fine with me. We can cut him at the end of the preseason. Go ahead, get eval period 1 done. We got 3 guys to sign. We got Donovan Smith, Nelson Aguilar, and Jimmy G. So we did get all 4 of the mentors that we do need at this point. Nobody else is getting interest right now. The 4 guys that we do want to bring back in terms that may impact the team just a little bit. Well, 3 more in particular. Taylor Wan's more of just the mentor tag at this point, as well as just bringing him back, letting him play for us, as this is his one and only team. Left guard, I don't think I necessarily need. I'm going to get one anyway, because we do have Thurmond and we do have, be a little easier to get. We'll go ahead and get eval period number 2 done. And we do get 5 of the guys to sign, so I would assume that basically clears off our free agency list. And I'm not too interested in giving them more money. I'm just not. You know, you guys aren't getting interest in free agency stage 2. If you guys aren't getting interest now, I don't think you guys are going to get a whole ton of interest going forward. I would suggest just re-signing. I would love to bring you guys back. It still keeps storylines going and things like that. But I'm not too worried about it. So yeah, we did get a left outside backer then in Jordan Jenkins, so I do need a middle backer. I don't think Josh Oliver is going to get signed. I'm going to be relatively honest. I don't think Josh Oliver gets signed here. I'm just going to bring him back at this point. He played well enough for us. I'm going to go ahead and bring him back. I'm going to give him 2 and 2. Hopefully he'll re-sign for that. He doesn't have super high interest in it, but you're not probably going to get any other offers, big dog. I would suggest just re-signing with us. It makes the most sense. Going to go ahead and get eval period number 3 done. And basically everybody does sign with us that are the mentor tags. Just waiting on the 3 actual guys that we were trying to sign and keep around. Josh Oliver, Malik Wilson, Hassan Haskins. Those guys will need to re-sign. Let's go ahead and get to free agency period number 3. So at stage 3 of 3, we did get a couple guys to sign. We did get Oliver and we did get Haskins to sign. At least I think they both signed. Yes, they did. Cool. So they are both in. Fine. Haskins, I'll give you a little bit more money. I'll give you $3 million a year, 3-year deal, but you are getting no signing bonus. How does that sound? He's one of my favorite fullbacks, and I think he'll be talented enough to help us out. I'm going to give him, just in case we don't need him, I'm going to give him $7 million in salary. I know this sounds weird, but no signing bonus. You know, some of these running backs are interesting, but I think I have guys in the draft class that I like a little bit more that are those receiving style backs. Receiver, same deal. Just, I don't see anybody that will really make a difference in the team in terms of adding a ton of talent, right? So we did end up bringing in some pretty interesting guys. Kyle Juszczyk to take over for that Taysom Hill role. Not quite as fast, but should be able to get the job done for the most part. Charles Minihue, Dermonte Jones, Chig, BJ Hill, Hassan Haskins, Taylor Lewan, Josh Thompson, Josh Oliver, Malik Willis, all back, and then the rest are just the mentor tag players. So we did bring back a lot of the guys that we did need to bring back. Team's pretty much set, though. Like I said, we didn't have a whole ton of holes to fill, so it wasn't like we were like, oh, we gotta go out and fill this hole and fill that hole, and, you know, we're missing this and that and just everything in between, you know. We still have plenty of talent, we still have plenty of depth, and we still have the draft class to come, right? That's another thing. Now, granted, we don't have a ton of top-end capital. I will say that much. You know, like I said, we have the number 3 overall pick, which we will probably trade down. And also, something that I think I might do, by the way, just to let you guys know before we end up, before it gets too late. I'm probably going to play through Season 4. Season 5, we might just do, the play moments, and we might do, 4 games an episode. And then maybe Season 6, if we can get to it, I think might just be a sim season. Joe Jr. goes to the Steelers. Ronnie Stanley go to the Patriots, as well as Travis Kelce, so they're upgrading their offense a lot. Roger McCreary going to the Panthers. Braden Smith going to the Rams. Kyron Williams going to the Saints, as well as Batonio. So a lot of their contracts must finally be off the books, so the Saints are able to finally spend money again in Williams, Batonio, and Burks. Byard going to the Rams. Lawrence going to the Panthers. Tom and Edwards to the Seahawks. Brown to the Rams. Jesus, they went after a lot of guys. They went after a right tackle, left tackle, a free safety. They are just re-hauling that team. Martin Emerson going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't know why. He played for the Browns, but he feels like a Pittsburgh Steeler. Cole Holcomb going to the Patriots. Tyler Lockett going to the Colts. Ryan Jensen to the Seahawks. Rasul Douglas to the Broncos. Jamal Adams back to the Seahawks. Going to go play middle linebacker for them. Darius Slay going to the Giants. Dallas Goedert to the Saints. Jesus, just the teams that have the money are definitely fucking out here spending it. It's just like the same teams over and over. Rams, Patriots, Steelers, Panthers, Broncos, Seahawks. Like, Jesus, dude. They're just out here spending money, of course. And I don't know if I just said this like a couple minutes ago, but one storyline that you do have to think about as to why we're not spending money this season is because who we have coming up next season, by the way. If you do not realize who we have coming up next season to pay, it's not going to be fun. And the reason why we did give Peter Skoronski his option is because we have Spears, a running back I would like to keep. We do have a guy like, hold on, where is he? We have Osa. We have Will Levis. We have, all the guys we just signed a 1-year deal. Shair, of course, as well, who is regressing. Fuck me. But, we have our quarterback, our running back. We have our left guard in a couple years. We have a D tackle that we like. We have our team captain in Aziz Al-Shair. Okay, let's get things underway in the draft. I've kind of figured out who I've wanted for the most part. So let's get things underway. Let's go ahead and hop into the draft, of course. It's going to be an interesting thing, So, number 1 overall, go of the Saints. They take Preston, the right tackle. Yep, pretty much figured. And then the Broncos are going to take Daryl Simpson, quarterback. Of course, because they were running that 66 overall Archer dude, I'm pretty sure his name was. Who was not good. No offense to him, he was put in a shitty situation, right? That Russell Wilson contract kind of fucked over the team, and therefore fucked over him. Now, of course, I do want to trade out of this. I really, really do. The thing is, I got to get a certain package in mind to be able to get what I want. And it does come with the Commanders. Now, I don't want a first-round pick. I'm going to be honest. A lot of my guys are going in the second round. So I am going to be trying to get my picks back from the Commanders. They do have my second. They also have their second. They're the only team with 2 seconds in the entire league. So they are going to be the team I'm going after. So we're going to go ahead and try to start off with just the basic 1, 2, and 2 for number 3. If it goes through, we accidentally overshot. Oh well. Okay, so this is the trade. We are trading a practice squad left tackle, a corner, a first, a third, a fifth, and a fifth of this year for the Commanders' first, second, and second. This will get us into the second round a ton. We do have a couple guys that, like I said, I do want to take, so I do have to go take them pretty early. But this does get it done. Good value here. We may actually end up having to take the safety that I want in the late first, and then we'll take the other 2 guys in the second. So those will be the 2 Commanders picks, of course. Well, the 2 second rounders, of course, and then we'll trade this first round pick back to get even more value and potentially get even closer to our goal. So we'll go ahead and trade back. We'll go to our user pick. Don't really care about the rest of the teams. We'll take a look at the draft class later, of course. We're going to trade away. Could do the Raiders. That makes the most sense. And then we pick up an extra future 3 potentially. We're trading back. See if that goes through. It does. Okay, so we are trading back to 25. We're going up 7 spots in the second. We're dropping back 13 spots in the first, and we're picking up an extra 3 as well. I think that's pretty good value. I know I probably could have gotten a little bit more for that, but oh well. So the Raiders come up and they take a tackle. Frankie Buchanan out of Georgia. We'll drop to 25. My safety should be here, to be fair. His name is Danny Brinkley. Safety out of Auburn. 6'2", 209, hybrid safety. I very much like him. He should be a very good player for us. I don't know how much I want to play Reed Blankenship, and I think this guy just comes in and fills in a hole, gets that third role for us. Danny Brinkley. 91 speed, 86 acceleration, 85 agility. 86 change of direction, 85 jumping, 68 strength. This is about where we would normally be picking anyway, so it's not too terrible. Our next guy is going to be a right tackle, Ethan Bayless. He's my guy. This is the guy I wanted. Pass protector, 6'7", 315, 21 years old, out of Wisconsin. Going to be a good pass blocker. He has decent run block as well. Ethan Bayless. 71 speed, 73 jumping, 72 agility, 72 acceleration, and 79 strength. good athletic traits here. Ethan Bayless, he's going to come in and be that backup tackle. He'll be our probably swing tackle going forward. He'll be backing up, of course, Lindsey Goodwell and, of course, Titus Horton going forward. He's just a little bit better, and I'm going to be able to trust him a little bit more, as well as we're going to be able to develop him instead of a guy like A.J. Jackson, who I still like, but it just wasn't going to be the future long-term goal. We're going to be taking a wide receiver now, Brendan Austin, deep threat. He has fucking unreal physicals, by the way. Elite, good, great. I think he's going to be a very good talent. He should have very good speed. Maybe even a Tyler Linton 2.0, for example. You know, just something of that nature. I don't think he'll be as good as Tyler Linton. Tyler Linton was a fucking phenomenal player. Out of Texas here, 6 foot, 189, 21 years old, out of Texas, deep threat. Making Bengal proud. Normal dev trait. Fuck me. 94 speed, 90 jumping, 91 change of direction, 90 agility, and 94 acceleration. He should play pretty well. He'll come in looking to compete for that third string spot. We will head to the third round now, of course. Got a couple guys left on my board. Got a tight end, a center. So, like, I'll star anybody that I find interesting, and then I will make a document basically saying, like, hey, this is who I really, really like and where I would like to take them if they're available. So, in the third here, don't want to take the quarterbacks. I don't need the running backs. They're not going to go quite yet. The receivers aren't going to go. The tight ends I like, but I don't think are going to go this early. I don't think I want to take a guard. I mean, Hart's pretty good, as well as Sanford. Sanford could be interesting here. Chase Mahone, though, is just such a good fucking talent. But 6 foot 250, that's such a weird build. I gotta go Chase Mahone here. I think I have to go Chase Mahone here. I think he's gonna be the best talent on the board. I'm gonna take Chase Mahone here. Yeah, I'm gonna take Chase Mahone here. He's the best talent on the board. 85 speed, 78 strength, 78 jumping, 84 agility, 87 acceleration. Good physical traits as well. Well, good physical traits to begin with. He should come in, help us out in that backup role. He could even look to replace a guy like a Yatir Gross-Matos or so if he is a good enough edge rusher, of course. He could just be a run stopper. I'm going to go Luke Harden here. I know it says UDFA. I think he's good. He is a very good pass protector, 6'1", 293, undersized, out of Stanford. Good physicals, good, great, decent, good. I think that's a very good sign, especially for a pass protector. At center, undersized. I think Luke Harden is the guy here. I'm going to go ahead and take him. 87 strength, 69 speed, 67 jumping, 70 agility, 80 acceleration, and a dev trait. I think we've gotten all of our backups now. We have Thurman still. We brought in, Bayless, and now we are bringing in Harden. I think that shores up our offensive line. And then Taylor Lewan and A.J. Jackson as the other two aren't bad either. I think the team's looking pretty good there at the offensive line position. That does it for offensive line help anyway, as well as I don't really have anybody else, I think, on the board. So that will take care of that situation. We're going to have a pick at pick 32 here in the fourth. I don't know if I have anybody here that I want to take this early. Of course, like I've said before, we can always cut people if we need to. It's not like we don't have a ton of fucking money. I'm going to do it. Mello Graham here, tight end at the end of the fourth. He'll come in and fit in with us. 6'4", 263, 23 years old, out of Mississippi State. Decent athletic traits. I think he'll be fine for us. Possession tight end. They normally turn out a little bit better because they're more well-rounded. I think Mello Graham should be able to come in and fit in that fourth spot. Going to pick number 17 now here in the fifth as well. Kyle Cameron, a running back. I don't even remember looking at him, so he must not be good. Or at least if I did look at him, was not very good. All the running backs still here. Hancock still here. But I'm looking at these tight ends. These corners. Fuck, one of the corners went. Who went? Fulton went. Fuck me. He was pretty good. He was actually pretty good. I think he was my third guy. I think I like Bishop and I think I like Langford more. Because I like looking at traits. But Amon Gore starting off as a slot at 6'3" is incredible. His press is shit though, which means his man coverage must be pretty good. And he must have some Bishop, elite, good. I think that's a little bit better. Henry Langford, elite and solid. I think it's Langford, and I think it's Langford, and I think it's Bishop at this point. I'm gonna take them back to back here. Get us some developmental corners, guys that could be good special teamers for us. 90 speed, 90 jumping, 85 change of direction, 92 agility, 95 acceleration. 6 foot, 204, 22 years old out of Pittsburgh. I think he'll fit in right with our corners. He kind of matches kind of what we're looking for a little bit better. And then we will sim to pick 31. As long as one of the corners are still there, of course, we'll take them. Or somebody else if we need to. I don't plan on trading out of any of these picks, to be fair. I want to take as many guys as humanly possible and see how they turn out. Bishop is still here. Cool. So the corner we did prefer is still here. Byron Bishop, 6'1", 208 out of Memphis, 22 years old. Good press, good man. 91 speed, 79 jumping, 85 change of direction, 86 agility, and 95 acceleration. Good special teamer. Should be able to play for us. Maybe down the board, of course. Down, in a couple years, he could develop pretty nicely. We do have pick 602 here. Jason Matlock goes. Matt Hancock, the receiver, just fucking went. And the annoying thing is, I went through real quick, and I decided to give our former players good jersey numbers, make sure that they had a chance to start, stuff like that. The Saints have like 6 receivers, and they signed 3 of them this year. So it's like, they just drafted one, which is kind of annoying, especially a guy that I very much liked. Now, of course, we do have another receiver here in Killian Kershaw, as well as Alex Reeves. I like Reeves a little bit more. He's a little bit more of a physical freak than Killian Kershaw, if I remember correctly. Elite, great, solid, good, great. And then, of course, Killian Kershaw here. Great, good. Not as great, but still pretty well. Now, go the receiving back. We already have a power back. We need a receiving back. So we're going to go Chris Wilkins here out of Iowa, 5'8", 194, 22 years old. Decent physicals, great, good, solid. Don't need him to be particularly the fastest. I don't normally look for that in a running back. 90, 88, 90, 92. That's very good as a receiving back as well. Hopefully he'll be able to play. He will come in and fill in that De'Arrington Evans role a little bit better. So he will be a decent threat for us. And we will go to our next pick here. Cassius Hayes, one of the quarterbacks we had scouted. The 2 quarterbacks were kind of more of a Malik Willis type of quarterback. Decent arm talent. Not really a whole ton going elsewhere. But I do like Alex Reeves. I don't want the linebackers. I don't really have room for them right now on the team. Mark Birdingham isn't bad, but I don't particularly love it. I like Alex Reeves. I'm going to take the physical freak here at receiver. Alex Reeves, 95 speed, 95 acceleration, 93 agility, 83 change of direction, 87 jumping. Pretty good. Okay, with this trade, we are trading 2 practice squad players for just cap fillers from their team. Guys, it seems like they might have actually drafted, because I think they both had 3 years left that are pretty fucking terrible. And we are getting 3 7th round picks, 2 of them being this year and 1 being in the year 2028. We do have to give up a 5th round pick of 2028, but they get a couple guys that could be practice squad players or low end rotation guys. And we do get a couple 7th rounders to keep us in the draft, of course. I wanted to trade with a team that had 2 picks that were a little bit later. I didn't want to pick right now. If any of my guys are still available, I'm going to take them. It's as simple as that. I think this is a good showing of faith and being able to take players. I want to take a couple extra players. I'm going to take Avery Harris here. I'm going to take the quarterback. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to take hidden depth trait. Holy fuck. 86 speed, 86 throw power, 77 jumping, 90 acceleration. Could be a Trey Lance type of guy. Not quite as big of an arm, but still pretty good pick just based off the dev trait alone. Now we're going to sim to pick 23. Honestly, I know I said I didn't need the linebacker, but if the linebacker's still there, I think that's who I'm leaning towards. I don't need the running back. I don't need the receiver, and he's gone. Damn it. I wasn't talking about Marcus Dillon, by the way. I was talking about the edge rusher. I like the edge rusher a little bit more. I don't need Killian Kershaw. I don't need Marcus Dillon, and I don't need Marquise Barrett. I'm going to trade this away, get some value back. I don't think we'll be able to get a whole ton, but still, nothing is better. Something is better than nothing. Not bad. Not bad from us. Not bad from us at all. Reeves, I wish I was a little bit higher on. Wilkins is usable, but not great.
Graham is lower. Mahone's higher. I thought he was going to be like 72. Austin's lower. Bayless is lower. Brinkley is about where I expected. I was hoping 75 for him. Brennan Austin, I think, is the one that I kind of fucked with because of the normal. Yeah, that does suck. Deep threat, though, out of Texas. Not bad. Just not great, of course. Without the depth chart is going to suck a little bit. But Brinkley should be able to be used right away. Bayless, like I said, swing tackle. Austin could come in looking to compete against guys like Amos and Smith. For that third spot, Mahone could be looking to compete against both Etier and, wow, 68 pass coverage and 69 for both the edge rushing categories. 61 for an edge rusher. He's ranked the 35th outside backer, by the way. So, there's that. He could easily play day one as that third guy. Luke Harden, pretty good, about where I was hoping. Hoping for more like 72, 73, but still usable. Corners are fine. Was what I was expecting. I think this is a very good draft class. It fills out a lot of needs for us. Now, of course, we are 2 guys automatically over the player limit, so we do have to get rid of 2 guys real quick. Probably going to be some guys that we just don't need. Tyson Bagent, I'm looking at you, unfortunately. You're no longer going to be allowed on the practice squad, as well as you don't have the mentor tag and everything else. You just aren't worth it. You were just only on the team because you were on the Bears at some point. So that's why you were here. Trevor Clemmings is probably odd man out now, which is unfortunate, especially being the teammate of Amos and Smith. He maybe could make the practice squad, but that's probably best case scenario for him. We do have to cut one more guy. I think it's gonna have to be. I like Matthew Orchard more. I know he's a year older, but 6'5" as well kind of keeps it a little bit better. Everybody else I'm keeping. Oh wait, I could have gotten rid of just the 2 outside backers that I just traded for. That's why we're over. I'm like, how the fuck did we go over so easily? It's because we traded for those 2 outside backers as cap hits. So they're gone. That should help out things just a little bit better. Corner's going to be an interesting situation. We're going to have to make some serious decisions there, as well as safety. Well, with that being said, guys, we have officially wrapped the 2026 off-season. No real big free agency moves, so nothing to note there. A lot of the guys that we did end up drafting are projection pieces as well as potential. More than anything else, it's not really, instant stars like it has been in the past, Quentin Ayers type of players. But that's to be expected, right? We won the Super Bowl. You don't always need those type of draft classes, right? Now that we are in this win now mode, now that we do have a good team, it is no longer about developing guys and taking guys that can play immediately and have good potential and also can start off at a high rate, right? It's more about developmental pieces, keeping the doors moving, next man up type mentality. That's probably one of the biggest things. Now, of course, with that being said, guys, if you guys do enjoy this video or any of the videos here on my channel, I would appreciate it if you guys do stick around and subscribe. I have more videos like this coming out with the Tennessee Titans franchise. Like I said, we'll probably play through Season 4. We might play moments for Season 5, or we might just hop straight into the sim for Season 5 and 6, potentially. I do want to try to get maybe 6 or 7 years into this to see how we really turn out over time. There's that. And then, of course, we still have roster updates, with the finals ending potentially soon. The Mavs are down 3-1. I would assume they'll probably get beat in 6 or in 5. I don't think it's going to go to Game 7, unfortunately, for the Mavs. So roster updates for 2K24 and 2K23 are going to be getting pushed out more and more regularly. And, of course, once the draft and free agency come, they'll be getting pushed out even more frequently than that. And there'll be videos on that and stuff like that, going over all those changes. Still doing Madden roster updates. Just not as much stuff has been happening. So I'm only updating it about once every 2 days or once every 3 days. I'm not going to update it every day just for 1 or 2 players picking new jersey numbers or stuff like that. It just doesn't make sense for me right now. As well as I have other stuff on my plate. I am uploading Rainbow Six Siege content to the channel as well. I'm just not posting it publicly. It's all unlisted. So if you guys want to check any of that stuff out, you guys will have to go find the playlist. Just, aces, cool clips, funny clips, stuff like that I'm posting. Full games even potentially in the future as well. I don't know how much editing and stuff I'm going to put into those. They might just be raw clips and stuff, but it's for the most part it's more just about me being able to put them somewhere and save them. rather than them just sitting on my PlayStation as well. Like I said, I'm not posting them because it does fuck with the channel and the viewership, because if people don't click on it, then it fucks with my channel, and my channel doesn't get pushed as much. Some content you may not see as much of on the channel anymore just because it doesn't get pushed out as well. To be fair, like I said, I'm going to still have good content coming out, hopefully. I still have a lot of Bears videos that I still need to get to work on, because I would like to get those out. Of course, we will have NCAA content, and of course, Madden content coming out sooner rather than later. Of course, I think it's the 16th now. I think it's the 16th now. So, you know, we're just under 2 months away. We're under two months away from both Madden or we're exactly 2 months away from Madden, and then a month away from NCAA. I'm going to try to get a whole ton of content out. I've been looking at my schedule. I don't think I'm going to have a whole ton of recording time during that first week. But then again, I want to learn the game before I start making content. I'm not going to immediately hop in. You know, no offense to other guys, but I'm going to learn the game. I'm going to learn how to do stuff correctly. And then we'll probably hop in and try to make some content and stuff like that. But with that being said, guys, like I said, if you guys enjoy this content or other content here on my channel, I would appreciate it if you guys do stick around and subscribe. Let me know. Does this team have what it takes to go back-to-back? Who really knows? A good offseason, though. Nothing, like I said, nothing too spectacular happening, but that's to be expected when you win a Super Bowl, right? You can't do a whole ton. Granted, we still have $94 million, but half that's probably going to Will Levis next year. And then another quarter that's going to and then a quarter of the remaining money is probably going to Spears, and so on and so forth. But with that being said, guys, if you guys, like I said, enjoy this content, please stick around and subscribe, and I'll be back with more videos like this. But with that being said, I'm out. Peace.